Hello everyone, thanks for checking out another edition of Word on a Wednesday, our chance to inject some encouragement from God's Word into the middle of your week. My name is Brendan and I have the privilege of being on staff here at River's Edge. This week, I want to connect something Pastor Chase said on Sunday with a story from the Bible that I've spent a lot of time studying recently. A few weeks ago, I had the chance to speak at a youth retreat and we spent the whole weekend focusing on the story of Zacchaeus. It's a short but powerful story from the life of Jesus found in the Gospel of Luke chapter 19. As Jesus is passing through Jericho on his way to Jerusalem, where he'll eventually be crucified, he has this encounter with Zacchaeus, and I'm going to read from Luke 19. There was a man there named Zacchaeus. He was the chief tax collector in the region, and he had become very rich. He tried to get a look at Jesus, but he was too short to see over the crowd, so he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore tree beside the road, for Jesus was going to pass that way. When Jesus came by, he looked up at Zacchaeus and called him by name. "Zacchaeus," he said, "quick, come down. I must be a guest in your home today." Zacchaeus quickly climbed down and took Jesus to his house in great excitement and joy, but the people were displeased. "He has gone to be the guest of a notorious sinner," they grumbled. I'm going to stop there, because some of you might think that the only reason I like this story is because Zacchaeus was short enough not to be able to see over the crowd. Honestly, you're not entirely wrong. I can definitely relate to the idea of struggling to see over taller people. But there is way more to this story that I find impactful. There's the eagerness just to see Jesus as he passes through town. There's a longing in him to see what Jesus is all about, even though it seems like he has managed to get all that he needs out of life and is wealthy in his own right. There's the fact that Jesus calls him by name and then invites himself over to dinner. But what connected this story to what Chase said this weekend for me was how the other people responded to what was happening. Luke tells us that all the people saw this and began to mutter. They had some thoughts, and they weren't kind ones. They're focused on what Zacchaeus has done. Jesus is focused on who Zacchaeus is and what he can do. The story ends with Zacchaeus giving away a fortune to help the poor and paying back 4 times whatever he's gained through shady methods. But that isn't what saves him. Jesus knows that the man's heart has changed, and he welcomes him into God's family. Pastor Chase encouraged us not to let anyone condemn or disqualify us because of what he calls the non-essentials, and to also make sure we aren't condemning or disqualifying other people for their non-essentials. I think one of the ways to avoid getting pulled into that trap is to do what Jesus does in Luke 19. He makes things personal. He knows Zacchaeus' name. He invites himself over for dinner. He gets a front row seat to the heart of a changed man. And it's in stark contrast to the far-off muttering of the rest of the people. They don't really know Zacchaeus. They're just judging and disqualifying him from a distance. Jesus makes things deeply personal with Zacchaeus, and amazing things start to happen. So that's my encouragement for you this week. Make things personal. Respectfully and humbly step into other people's lives when you're tempted to judge from afar. Get to know people's names, their stories, and their hearts. The more personal we make things, the more unified we'll become, and the more we'll see amazing things happen in other people's lives and in our own. Have a great week, everyone.